Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout to share for Lottie Loves Paper. I'm working on the Stars Challenge today. This is my my sample layout for the Stars Challenge, and I have used the No Limits collection by Coco Vanilla Studio. So I have got this cut file by Peartree Cutfiles that says Best Buddies. And I'm backfilling that. I'm doing that manually with a pencil, drawing around each letter. I'm doing that, backfilling each letter with a different colour. So I've aimed for a kind of greens and blues colour scheme. Obviously the No Limits collection is just fabulous. So I just pulled out all those ones that I want to use. I love that really, really super bright green that I've just used there. And some of the like tealy colours as well, and then there's some darker colours too, like the black. It's not really black, it's like a very dark grey, but I love all of those. So I've drawn around all of those, and I'm cutting them out by freehand. So if I draw around the outside of the letter, then I just cut slightly within the lines. Sometimes I cut these letters on my silhouette, but if I'm backfilling in different colours, then I generally find that it's quicker to do it manually rather than feed the machine through with lots of different papers. And I've never got on well with sticking multiple bits of paper on a cutting mat. I think my cutting mats just aren't sticky enough because I just find they come off when it's cutting, so then I get endlessly frustrated. So I just often find that pencil and scissors is the best way. So yes, I have just, you saw how quick I did those. Just done that. Now backfilling it with glue, using the glue to backfill each of the letters. And I'm sticking the letters flat because they're probably a bit too skinny to raise on foam pads. So I will end up with it saying Best Buddies. I love that top word Best in the different colours. I think it just looks totally awesome. I'm just going to put the little bits and pieces in the B. I always like to cut through the holes, so I normally draw around them, I'm drawing around them and then can cut them out. I just feel that they look better if they have the holes trimmed out. Okay, so I'm now going to start on a bit of a mixed media background. I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to do with this layout when I first started it. I just kind of aimed for I just wanted a bit of a glow in the background, but I didn't want it necessarily to be the shape of the cut file. I definitely needed some colour in the background to make the cut file stand out because it's a white cut file on a white background. So I definitely needed something, but I wasn't quite sure what, so I wasn't sure on the shape either. So I just thought I'd get started, just give it a go, see what it looks like, and hope for the best. So basically that is what I've done. And I ended up in this kind of like wedge shape, kind of doing a bit of a wonky circle. With the different colours. So I picked out a few Distress Oxide inks. I'm fairly new to Distress Oxides, so I don't have a huge amount. I'm also not overly good at applying them, but I'm getting used to it slowly. Obviously, it looks a lot better when you've got something on top of it. So if I was just to leave it as it was like that, in that very messy circle, that wouldn't look anywhere near as good as once I have managed to put something on top of it. It just looks a lot better. I always think that mixed media comes into its own when something gets laid on top of it. I've decided to splatter that background with some water because the Distress Oxides kind of wick when you splatter them, so you do get some watermarks, I like the look of that. So I thought I would have a go at that and see what that looked like, especially as I have a lot of the colour, the mixed media on show. So I've done that, it doesn't show as well as I thought it would show. Perhaps I should have left the water on a little bit longer because I soaked it off with some kitchen towels. So perhaps I should have let it soak a little bit longer to kind of absorb the water and pull it away from the cardstock. But I didn't. So anyway, it is there, but it is quite subtle. Okay, so obviously today's challenge is stars. So I have reached for that beautiful star paper. I have fussy cut out a load of those stars. I am going to arrange those around the corner of the photo. I'm just working out what I can use. I'm pulling out the No Limits ephemera and seeing what's in there, as well as using the stars fussy cut from the pattern paper as well. That beautiful pattern paper with stars all over it from No Limits. It's just so fabulous. Definitely my favourite paper. So much use of that. I think I ordered 2 sheets of that, of course. Yeah, okay, so I am continuing with the stars, fussy cutting a few of those, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to arrange this all onto my layout. I keep doing that, so putting the cut file on the left and the photo tucked into the right. That is where it does end up. And then I need to create these clusters of stars around the photo. Now, creating clusters of stars can be a bit tricky, because of course they're really awkward shapes, aren't they? They have lots of points and they don't sit next to each other very nicely. So trying to arrange lots of them together doesn't always look great. So I just grabbed a couple of pieces of circle ephemera as well that helped to smooth out the edges a little bit around there. And then I can layer my stars on top of that and around it really, rather than all on top of each other or very close to each other. And I feel that works quite well. Okay, so I am just raising up the cut file on foam pads, and I've got all of my stars stuck in place now as well. Now I've got to this point and I kind of don't like it. It's fine, but not special. So I tried to figure out what else I could do. I would like to put a border on the layout. So I had a look through my stash to work out if there was anything that I could use as a border. And I came across this paper, this fabulous brick paper. And I had the crazy idea that I might be able to cut around the bricks and create like a wall around the layout. So that is what I have done. And I continued, and I had to make some edits because there were, I didn't cut far enough or close enough to the edges in some places or the corners. But I'm pretty happy with how it looks. So I am going to stick it down to the outside edges of the layout itself. Then I'm going to lift the other pieces of ephemera up and over the bricks. So the bricks are kind of tucked under as well. And I'm going to do the same on the left with the letter B. And there we go, that's looking good. So I'm happy with how that's looking. And that makes such a difference. It's gone from a perfectly okay layout to one that has a bit more wow factor because of that fantastic brick border. I'm a bit of a Harry Potter nut, and it reminds me of the parting of the bricks in the Diagon Alley scene. So not that this has anything to do with Harry Potter, but that's just kind of how my mind works. So anyway, I did love those bricks. Thought they were pretty awesome. So anyway, now I can continue to build up the stars and the other things on the layout. And it's all kind of coming together really nicely. So I'm going to add the Bramble Fox stars. Now, a lot of these stars are from the Bramble Fox Halloween or spooky stars, I think they were called. I can't remember. But they were definitely for Halloween. So I had a pack of those, but I haven't. There was purples and oranges and things in there as well, I think. But I've just picked out the blues and the greens, and maybe some black ones as well. And that looks good. And I'm also stamping some stars as well. So I was at a crop when I made this layout, and somebody lent me some lovely star stamps. Thanks, Bev. And I used those to stamp in a few places, and and also to stamp some and then fussy cut out, I think. So I have a bit of a mixture of stars here. So I've got fussy cut stars, I've got ephemera stars, I've got Bramble Fox stars, I've got stamped stars, so lots of different types of stars really. I do love stars. They're definitely my favourite thing to use ever, especially on boy layouts. And yeah, I'm now liking the mixing in the background, even though it's a slightly awkward shape. I wish I had done it around the shape of the cut file now, rather than in a big kind of circle. But you live and learn, right? You can't get everything right all the time. So yeah, but I'm happy with it. This photo was of my boy at his best friend's house, and he had his iPad with at his best friend's house, and they took photos on his iPad, and what he doesn't realise is that all the photos he takes end up on my phone feed in my camera roll, because the phone and the iPad are linked. It's my iPad actually, but I let him use it. And so I love it because I get all his photos that he's taken, and he does take some funny ones sometimes. He quite often takes photos of my other little boy, so I do get some funny photos occasionally, and they all come through to my camera feed on my phone. Brilliant, hey. Anyway, just getting those last bits and pieces stuck down. So those last stars stuck down, using glossy accents to get those in place. What am I going to finish off with? I think I'm nearly there. I need to write my journaling on. I'm not sure if I do that now. Quite often I end up splattering first and then realise that I haven't done my journaling, so then I have to do it off camera. I think I'm going to do that here. I'm going to splatter with black paint. I nearly shook it. Oh, I did shake it directly out of the tube. Sometimes I don't, because I then cover my background completely and myself in black paint. And white is one thing, but black is a whole different story. Yeah, I did shake it out directly. Okay, and that is my layout complete. So I hope you have enjoyed this layout. I loved making it. It came out really well. I'm delighted with how it looks. Have fun playing along with the Stars Challenge. And don't forget to check out the No Limits collection by Coco Vanilla Studio, which is available in the Lottie Loves Paper shop. Thank you so much for joining me for today. That was Niki Rowland for Lottie Loves Paper.